Salut French 101 students, ça va? Welcome to video 6 of chapitre préliminaire, and the topic of this video is moi, je. So me, I am. So what we're doing is learning how to describe ourselves using different adjectives, describing words, using names of professions. So you're going to be talking basically about how you are and what you do or do not do. So let's begin with the expression je suis. Okay, so je suis means I am. And I can use different ways to describe myself. So I can talk about my profession or what I do for a living. I could say je suis étudiant or je suis étudiante. So this depends on whether I'm referring to myself as male or female. So if you are male, you would say je suis étudiant. If you are female, you're going to say je suis étudiante. And the T is pronounced at the end. It's silent if you're not using the feminine form. Notice also that because the word étudiant begins with a vowel sound, the S at the end of suis is pronounced. Je suis étudiant. Je suis étudiante. And I can use other words to describe myself. I can say je suis professeur. Notice now when I say professeur that the S is silent because professeur begins with a consonant and not a vowel. Je suis professeur. In casual conversational French, people would say je suis prof. Okay, so professeur gets shortened to prof. Okay, and you might have noticed when I was saying this that je suis in kind of casual, informal conversation almost becomes like je suis prof, je suis professeur. But for now, it's probably best to practice this as je suis. Okay, I can say je suis américain for masculine, je suis américaine for feminine, je suis canadien or je suis canadienne. Je suis de Chicago, which is perfect because I am from Chicago originally, so that works well for me. Or je suis d'ici. We've already seen that in some other conversations. I believe the formal and informal conversations. Now, I can also change je suis to je ne suis pas. And what that means is I am not. So you use ne and pas before and after the verb suis to make it not. So je suis or je ne suis pas. In kind of faster conversation, people might say je ne suis pas, je ne suis pas. It's a little bit faster. For now, you can practice it as je ne suis pas. So je ne suis pas étudiant. Okay, and notice that I'm pronouncing the S because I'm connecting it to A in étudiant. Je ne suis pas étudiant, je ne suis pas étudiante, je ne suis pas professeur, je ne suis pas américain or américaine. Okay, and that definitely wouldn't be the case because I have to say je suis américaine. I was born here. Okay, if you are one of the students from Canada, you could say je suis canadien. But if you're not, you could say je ne suis pas canadien or canadienne. Je ne suis pas de Chicago. Je suis de New York. Okay? Or je ne suis pas d'ici. I'm not from here. Je suis de Houston. Okay, so we can use these two expressions in very useful ways to talk about what you are or what you're not. Okay, another very important verb that we're going to be looking at this semester is habiter. And I'll just type that here in red. You will be learning a little bit later on in the course that there are different verbs that end in ER, IR, and RE. It's coming later. But for now, just know that habiter, that's how you say this, habiter, means to live. And it means to live in a place, not to be alive. That's a different verb, which you'll learn later. But we always use the verb habiter to talk about the place where you live, like the city or the location. So here I would say j'habite. J'habite à Toronto. or je n'habite pas à Toronto. And you might notice here that ne looks a little bit different, right? And that's because habite, the H is silent, so this is really a vowel sound. The word is beginning with a vowel sound, which is a. When a word begins with a vowel sound, the ne that comes before it drops the e. It's like a contraction. We have lots of contractions in English, like can't for cannot. So, je n'habite pas à Toronto. Okay, so I could say j'habite seul, and these are pronounced the same. Seul or seul for masculine or feminine, it's just a spelling change. So if I say for myself, j'habite seul, I'm going to add the e when I spell it. J'habite avec un ami or une amie, so a male friend or a female friend. J'habite avec ma famille. C'est la vérité, that's the truth. J'habite avec ma famille. J'habite avec un camarade de chambre, so a roommate, basically like a friend of the room, un camarade de chambre, ou une camarade de chambre, so either a male roommate or a female roommate. And I can also say je n'habite pas for any of these things. Je n'habite pas à Toronto, j'habite à Simpsonville. Okay, so I can say where I do live. Okay, so I'm going to give you a moment to do a couple of interactions here. I'm going to give you 4 different chances to describe yourself. So in the first case, I want you to say what you are. Okay, so je suis. You can say je suis étudiant, je suis professeur, je suis canadien, canadienne. So I want you to tell me what you are. Okay, now that you've had a chance to say what you are, I would like you to tell me what you're not. And you can choose any of these items in the list. So I would just like you to practice saying je ne suis pas something. Okay. Okay, and now I would like you to tell me where you live, where you actually do live. So j'habite à somewhere. Okay, now it's your turn. Okay, and finally for this section, I would like you to tell me where you do not live. Je n'habite pas what? And you can fill in the blank there. All right, so now we'll move on to another few items about talking about yourself. So another verb that we can get familiar with here in French 101 is travailler. So here it's je travaille, but I'm going to give to you the full form of this verb. Travailler. So it's an ER verb and it means to work. But if I'm saying I work, I'm going to say je travaille. Notice the R is missing on the end now, and there's a reason for that, and you'll be learning about that soon. So je travaille. And again, you see ne pas. Je ne travaille pas. I do not work. Okay, so je travaille beaucoup. Je travaille à l'université. Je travaille pour Apple. Okay, so now I'm going to give you the chance to say where you work. You can choose one of these expressions here, or you can choose something different. Okay, and now I would like you to say where you do not work. Je ne travaille pas. Okay, now we'll move on to the next verb that we see here, and that verb is parler, and parler means to speak. Okay, and when I put it with je, it becomes je parle. So je parle anglais, English, je parle français, French, or je parle espagnol, Spanish. Okay, so now you can say which language you speak. You can choose any one of those 3. Hey, and of course, you can talk about what you do not speak. And you can choose any one of these languages again. You can say, je ne parle pas anglais, je ne parle pas français, je ne parle pas espagnol. Okay, and finally, pour moi, for me. Le français est, et means is, and it's another form of the verb to be, so it's just is. Et le français est, and I could say intéressant. Okay, so when I'm connecting et and intéressant, the T is going to be pronounced. So le français est intéressant. Le français est assez facile. Le français est un peu difficile. It's a little bit difficult. Assez facile means pretty easy. Le français est super. Oh, that's easy to understand, right? It's super, it's cool, it's great, it's excellent. Le français est assez cool. Oh, it's pretty cool. So cool is actually an English word that's been borrowed into French. Okay, so I would like to know what you think of French. Is it intéressant, assez facile, un peu difficile, super, or assez cool? So you tell me. Le français est? Okay, so thanks for being with me for video 6 to learn more about what you are and what you do. And I look forward to hearing all of your recordings and interactive activities with this video. À la prochaine!